We are determined to see Grenada re-established as a major player in the production and marketing of high-quality nutmeg and byproducts.
For decades, the Caribbean island of Grenada produced the world's best nutmeg and mace and was the second largest producer after Indonesia.
People have to, especially farmers, they have to want the nutmeg industry to come back because nutmeg was a vital part of Grenada economy.
The rural agricultural sector provided significant income to farmers and their families and a welcomed injection of cash flow to Grenada's revenue. But natural disaster devastated Grenada's agriculture sector after the passage of Hurricanes Ivan and Emily in 2004 and 2005. Nutmeg trees were destroyed and production fell by 90%.
Agriculture is our business. We planted nutmeg before, and so we started right away gathering the seeds and the young trees and making nurseries.
In those days, the revenue from nutmegs contributed significantly to the national economy. Hundreds of persons were employed, and on a monthly basis, as much as $2.5 million was spent in the industry, mostly in the rural communities, as we bought the nutmegs from the farmers. That is significant, and we have to return to that.
The love for this essential food and spice inspired a Build Back Better approach, and 5 years later, the development of a nutmeg sector strategy plan by the people of Grenada has rejuvenated excitement about the future potential of this crop.
I was fortunate to be a member of the Grenada delegation to an ITC kickoff workshop which was held in Montego Bay in Jamaica for the CARICOM member states. And when we were presented with options of assistance, and I felt that together with the other members of the team that maybe this is a good opportunity for our nutmeg industry to get some assistance.
Coming out of that workshop, the plan was supported by a participatory stakeholder approach. A Grenadian delegation designed a comprehensive strategy for the development of the nutmeg sector. The International Trade Center, ITC, provided technical assistance with implementing product and market development activities.
We are here today at the National Stadium of Grenada. We have finalized the first day of the workshop 2. We have had a very successful turnout of participants representing the whole of the value chain. Today's objective was to validate the implementation plan that has been built for the last 6 months.
This is unique because this is the first time in the history of the industry that we've had such a cumulative effort by all the various stakeholders and strategic partners in the nutmeg industry come together. So wherever people are on the value chain, from farmers to business persons to Grenada Nutmeg Association, the government, we have funding agencies, donor agencies, international agencies, everybody coming together for the first time for one specific purpose, to see how we could revitalize the nutmeg industry, which is so important.
A strategy development coordinating committee composed of public and private representatives and a sector support team worked for months, meeting with specialists in particular areas to help design the overall plan.
Farmers, processing, selling, finance, and that is what you call the value chain. And this process, we have been designing a strategy. And in fact it is ITC backing up the philosophy behind how to come up with such a strategy. And the strategy was thought out, let's say 1 year ago. And then of course we had to find the right counterparts, the right people in the committee, in the GCNA, in the government, who would endorse that strategy. And we found them, and we have worked with them in a way that what started as a let's say a general strategy, that in the end it has become their work. I mean, in fact, they have been filling that strategy in a way that it is suited for the Grenadian situation.
The role of the committee, therefore, is to act as the coordinating partner, bringing in all the stakeholders who can contribute to all the activities that need to be done to make the plan successful. In other words, we will have to liaise with the government, with GCNA, with farmers, with the banks or funding agents, with the international organizations that would do, the technological support, as well as the local institutions like the research institutions, ICA, CARDI, and whoever is on the ground. We also have to immediately recognize the connection between nutmeg, the fruit, the spice, and the tourism sector, and also nutmeg in promoting the spice isles. So the work of the committee is cut out, and we are committed.
The nutmeg sector strategy integrates 6 main objectives.
What I'm looking for from Grenadian nutmeg is consistent supply. So the supply has to be there from now until the future. Also has to be consistent quality. So it's something that we need to rely on and not have any quality issues. And the third thing is really competitive price, that there's a competitive price in the world market so that we could consistently buy from Grenadians. So it's really looking at the short-term and long-term possibilities.
After the first fortnight of the farm labor program, the information from the field was that approximately 89 acres of cocoa and nutmeg lands had been cleared. We are into the third fortnight, so an analysis will be done shortly. And so we expect that by now, over 150 acres of both cocoa and nutmeg farmland should have been cleared.
There is a lot of potential. I think things are in the right direction. I'd like it to happen a little faster than expected, but at the same time, every year there seems to be more and more nutmeg, and that's what we're looking for.
The hurricanes actually devastated the industry, and we now operating with about 10% of that capacity level. And so it is important that if we're going to increase our revenue streams from nutmegs, we actually have to increase the production. So that at the moment is the #1 priority. And then once you produce the nutmegs, of course you have to sell it. In fact, Grenada produces the best quality nutmegs, and so we have to sell it. And marketing has been a challenge for the GCN in the past, and of course we are aware of those deficiencies, and we definitely will have to strengthen on them. We have to look at new ways of selling our nutmegs. Of course, we at present relate direct through our marketing agents, but we have to, as I say, we have to look at new ways, and so the strategies that can be derived could help in strengthening the revenue stream for the GCNA.
More farmers are being able to get to their fields, and so more farmers are harvesting nutmegs, and just through that nominal effort of harvesting or accessing more trees, production was able to increase from 150 tons to 400 tons per year. The government has also implemented a farmer assistance program whereby farmers are being assisted in clearing their farms, and also provided assistance in terms of farm and feeder road to be able to access their farms.
Being a farmer and being a member of the committee, it gives me the privilege and the opportunity to prepare to be part of something that is for the farmers, by the farmers, with the farmers. So as a farmer, it's a tremendous opportunity, great opportunity to get up, get involved, and reap the harvest.
UNCTAD is one of the implementing agency of EU-funded ACP Agriculture Commodities Program. So this participation in this workshop allowed us in a very limited time, to understand the main pictures of the sector, and also because UNCTAD under this program is mainly in charge of improved value chain financing in the nutmeg sector. So through this meeting, we met with many stakeholders and the main financial institutions in the Grenada, and we are very happy to see, in fact, the local stakeholders, they have already very good ideas of how to improve financing sector.
According to FAO role in the sector strategy development, and given the fact that we actually witnessed the whole process since the beginning, we can say that we got a very good overview of what are the sector issues and what are the problems in terms of risk exposure of different stakeholders. And actually this participatory approach helped us to better design and have a clear idea of what can be our contribution, especially in the finance and risk management field. We are already thinking about what we can do, and given the conversations we had with financial institutions and insurance companies, we are thinking that the first step to be undertaken, given the exposure of this country to weather events, is to provide an assessment and a risk profile of the country, to put also farmers in a better position and make them more reliable in the face of, for example, financial institutions. So, for example, by purchasing an insurance coverage, they can be more reliable and have an easier access to credit.
If we are able to get a good plan going, as was defined in the workshop, and we could able to successfully market it to the international financing agencies, and we could attract the required the required financial resources, then I believe that we could take the industry a long way forward.
Grenada is an NGO operating out of Telescopes in Andrews, and we are interested in people development first and foremost. We're doing a trail, the trail from Mong Long to Fedo's camp in the Granitang Mountains, and all that is Nutmeg country. And as we go along, we can see the possibilities of revitalizing the nutmeg industry. So we think that this sector plan that you're thinking of is perhaps timely, and that we'll be able to merge or to do some cooperation with you.
As a government, we are committed to the development of the sector, and will work with all the stakeholders towards the implementation.
The board and the GCNA support this strategy, this policy program, and we have the confidence or the comfort that as we go forward to rebuild and to resuscitate the industry, the GCNA is not going to do it on its own. We have the confidence and the comfort that we have strong support coming from the highest level to work with the GCNA and other stakeholders in rebuilding the industry.
From the Ministry of Trade, the Ministry of Finance, we have given the commitment that we're going to take whatever is necessary to ensure that the strategy becomes a reality, and it's not just a document that will be shelved, but action is taken to implement whatever is planned or whatever has to be done for the full implementation of the strategy.
It is a strategy that is focusing on the nutmeg industry, which can have a significant impact on the socio-economic well-being of the rural community. And we are mainly focusing on increasing the prosperity of the rural sector. And therefore we, as an institution, as an agency, a technical support agency, are keen on playing our role in supporting the implementation of the plan. We hope to do that mainly by contributing to the development of the capabilities of the major stakeholders in the sector, especially through training activities, also assistance in the development of formulation of projects, because from the implementation plan, we expect that a number of projects would emanate.
I can say that we sealed the deal. The committee chair, Dr. Guido Marcel, presented the issues, the objectives, and a general nutshell overview of the strategy to the cabinet. It was very well received. They were very interested, very supportive, and absolutely endorsed the implementation plan that was presented to them. And we will have their full support.
I think the uniqueness about this program is primarily that it's driven from the bottom up. I think having the farmers involved in the decision making means that it's, rather than it's being something imposed by government or anyone else, it's something that the guys have contributed to and therefore they take ownership of.
The nutmeg producers, through the training we are receiving here, the guidance and matters of that thing, will be persuaded that in order to get the best from the nutmeg industry, what is necessary is not to quarrel with the board, quarrel with the directors, whoever they may be, but to start treating it as a business and make whatever contribution is necessary to put it on a standard.
We have to get away from a condition where we've been exporting raw materials and importing finished products. I feel this is a good opportunity for us to get into joint ventures with companies in Europe or North America who use nutmeg as a base, and let's go into a joint venture so all of us benefit.
Farmers have struggled for a long time. There's been a lot of devastation because of Hurricanes Ivan and Emily, and this is the first time that we see true hope. It's important for us to have a strategic plan to move forward. The industry has become very competitive. We want to establish ourselves as best in the world for quality, and we need to have a plan so that we know what we should produce. Where we are going to project. We have to think about value-added products. We have to think about collaboration with other nutmeg producing countries so that we can figure out what the world production is going to be, and also try to figure ways to increase the world demand and usage. So it's an exciting time for us and for all farmers as well here in Grenada.
In June 2009, Grenada's nutmeg sector strategy was approved by Cabinet, and the government has given its full support for its implementation.
So having the strategy committee meeting and working out the whole thing is part and parcel of us trying to establish the added value sector. It's just a matter now of getting down, finding the finances and moving to different areas. The oil, the shampoos, the cream, the pharmaceutical, the preservation of meat. You see, so much things could come from nutmeg.
Grenada nutmeg has a unique position in the world markets, and I think that what this program will do is stimulate the desire for volume, and if there's the stimulation for the desire, that means there's going to be a price increase in the product, and that surely must run down to benefit the individual farmers.
We have to make it happen. Let us all pledge to make it happen. Let us all pledge to bring some young people into agriculture. Let us all pledge to make nutmeg a key in the developmental process of this country, our country, Grenada.